Welcome to another segment of the WTIM Morning Show, video streamed on the TatervilleDailyNews.com Facebook page and the WTIM channel on YouTube. Our video streams co-sponsored by Landmark of Taterville, where you always do better at Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. With us in studio, Rebecca Livingston with the Christian Montgomery University of Illinois Extension. And I know your title keeps changing, but in a good way, I guess.
Yeah, it's been this for a year or two.
And what is your official title?
If I say everything, Randy, I'll go Rebecca Livingston. I'm the program coordinator or agriculture literacy program coordinator for Christian and Montgomery counties with the University of Illinois Extension office. It's a mouthful. Most to say I just do ag in the classroom for Christian and Montgomery counties.
There you go.
It's a lot shorter.
There you go. And weren't you interim director for a while, or
No.
are you still interim?
No, that's Lisa. She's our food and nutrition educator.
Gotcha.
I do not want that with a 10. Nope. Nope. No.
No. Yeah, I knew where you were going with that, but yeah, I get that. All right. Well, I know in listening to you on our morning shows in the past, you have a passion about teaching and getting kids to learn agriculture in the classroom. Yep. And I know last school year was the biggest challenge really in your career. How many years you been doing this?
This is year 3 for ag in the classroom, year 4 with extension.
Okay. All right.
So COVID and me don't see eye to eye. Well, I don't think a lot of people, or I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Well, none of us in COVID see eye to eye, but I know in listening to the past programs on our air with you here, you came up with some wonderful and creative ways, despite COVID, to teach kids, grade school kids, agriculture, so that they could still get some kind of lesson and learn where their food, fiber, and fuel come from. Now, let's fast forward to the 2021-22 school year. What's it been like for you? Have you been able to get into the schools? Give us the big picture as to where you're at.
Big pictures. I'd say 3/4 of the schools. There's still a couple that won't let me in, and I completely respect that. Sure. I go with whatever they tell me.
Absolutely.
But no, I'm back in the classroom, and if you know me, you know last year was not fun for me because I realized it took last year for me to realize how much I love teaching. So I'm grateful for that, but I'm also 10 times grateful to be back in the classroom and be able to teach. And like I say, my job is to close the gap from farm to fork. That is, in layman's simple as I can get terms, is most adults think, oh yeah, I know what corn and soybeans is. My kid does too, but in reality, no, the kid goes to the store and thinks that's where their food is. They don't realize the whole entire process behind it. So that is literally my job. And I know we've talked before, but my dad had row crops growing up. So he farms corn and soybeans, and my step family, we raised beef cattle. So it's literally in my blood. I think my dad and I figured out if I were to farm, I'd be the 6th generation to farm on that side. So I think that's pretty cool. So like you said, I am very passionate about it. I'm stoked to get back in the classroom. I'm thankful schools are letting me in. I'm thankful teachers still want me to come in. And we're talking about snow right now, which is ironic because I started talking about it in December is when my lesson started. And I'm like, it's not snowing. It was like 60 degrees when I first started this lesson. And teachers were like, this is really fitting. I'm like, yeah, I know. And the year I do it, we don't have snow till middle of January. So, but, no, my younger kids are kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. We're talking about what farms do in the wintertime. So we're reading a book called, Sleep Tight Farm, and then they're making snowflakes using cotton balls, so they get to use the hand-eye coordination of pulling apart cotton balls, which is entertaining for me because they don't use those skills a lot, and the teachers love it because they use that hand-eye coordination and they get to do it. And then my older kids, we're learning about livestock, so we're learning about all the different types of livestock there, like horses, sheep, pigs, cows, etc. And then they are making a livestock snow globe, which is a lesson that probably came out in the early 2000s, and I've never done it. And I was like, oh, we're going to try it this year. And the teachers seem to like it. The kids seem to like it. So yeah, we're all about snow, even though it's not snowing. But like you said on the radio, hopefully we'll get some snow this weekend if you like snow. So
they're talking about, I'm going to rewind the tape here just a bit about something that you said. I met your dad at the county fair this past year, and I want to tell you, he is so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. we have conversations a lot, and it's pretty cool. And I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I'm involved in the farm as much as I can. And it depends on the year what I'm able to do, but it's pretty cool. 2 years ago, I got to run the combine for the first time and do stuff like that. And I love being a part of this community because I grew up here. My dad grew up here. My step family's here. Still, like, if I have a question about anything, I have a list of resources I can call and people I can go to and be like, hey, how do you, like, what does this do? Blah, 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 blah. And like last year when I was doing virtual farm tours, I literally would call my boss and be like, hey, I'm going out to my dad's to go like follow him around in hydrous. And I know what I'm talking about and I know what I'm doing, but I'm like, I don't have the equipment. So I just go follow him around. And my dad would be like, just make sure I'm not in the video. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I was like, that's easy enough. But so, yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I love what I do. I can honestly say that when I'm in the classroom, I do love teaching and talking about agriculture. So.
Well, and it shows. Absolutely. Rebecca Livingston is our guest. She's the Ag and the Classroom Coordinator for Christian and Montgomery counties for U of I Extension. There was another thought I was going to go to. Oh, I know. I know in the times that I have been in classrooms with grade school students over the years, these many years, whether it's talking radio or reading them a book or something, the fun part is watching the light bulbs go off when they get it.
Yep.
Do you see that when you bring agriculture down to an elementary level where it's easy for them to understand?
Yep. We did pumpkin catapults this fall. So the kiddos got to build a pumpkin catapult. Well, most of them thought the catapults were like the slingshots, but I'm like, no, these are ones you press. So as we were building it, I figured out there was an aha moment of where you put it all together. And that's exactly the line I use. I'm like, this is like your guys' light bulb moment of you guys realize what we are doing. And I live for those moments in the classroom because it is something just switches and you can see it on their faces. And it's like, oh yeah, I get it. And just to be able to walk in a classroom and kids know who you are and they're like, oh, you're here. What are we doing today? I'm like, you're going to have to find out. But yeah, those light bulb moments, those little excitement moments, like you said, that makes my job worth it and fun.
And the first time you do it, then the next time you're in that same classroom, they see your face and go, this is going to be fun. It's going to be educational, but in their mind, it's going to be fun.
Yep. And that's what I told all the teachers when I did the pumpkin catapult. I said, I promise you they are learning something. They're like, we know. And I said, the thing is they're having fun. And to me, like, I try to do the best of both worlds. If they have fun and then they get to learn something. Because I know when I was in school, I was not a school person. I could not sit still. I wanted to be up doing something. And that's what I strive for. I'm like, yeah, the kindergarten through second, we read a book. But then after that, it's hands-on stuff. And third through fifth. And now even this year I'm in the junior high, it is definitely hands-on stuff of, hey, yeah, you could get dirty. Like we've played in soil before, but you have fun and you remember it. And that's what I care about. So.
Before we go to a break, I'm going to ask you this question. I already know what the answer is, but learning something requires, just like multiplication and division, you gotta say it or read it or think it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that is that most folks that live even in a Taylorville or a Pana or a Shelbyville or any of the small towns in our listening area, most of the kids of the parents in those communities do not understand agriculture and where their food, fiber, and fuel come from. Does that continue to surprise you?
Not in this point in the career, no. Like, it's frustrating, but it doesn't surprise me, not even with adults. And I've had people ask me before, would you ever, like, teach adults? I'm like, no. Draw the line. I said 7th grade is about as high as I will go. Because there just becomes like a learning curve there, and they don't want to learn. They don't want to know. They don't care. They know they can go to Walmart or Kroger or Aldi, wherever, and go get their food. I said, I focus on this next generation so we can break that and be like, hey, see that giant corn plant? Yeah, that's where your corn syrup comes from. Your soybeans, if you like crowns or candles, that's where it comes from. Like, there's so much of agriculture that you live with every single day. That I'm like, if I can drive one thing home, that is it, is like, you cannot live without agriculture.
Rebecca Livingston is our guest. She is Ag and the Classroom Coordinator for Christian and Montgomery Counties, University of Illinois Extension. Our visit with Rebecca continues on the WTIM Morning Show.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. At TCCU, we understand the uncertainty that the COVID-19 outbreak is continuing to cause. To minimize the risk of the virus spreading, we have decided to close our lobbies. All lobbies will remain closed until further notice. All drive-through lanes remain open, and you can access your accounts 24/7 via our mobile app or home banking. We will work together to get through the challenges COVID-19 has brought. Thank you for being a member of TCCU. Take care of yourself and your family. Equal Housing Lender, member NCUA.
WTIM on its many platforms, AM, FM, and online, brings you Taylorville Tornado football, boys and girls basketball all season long, and playoff games of all teams. Tornado sports on WTIM and streamed live on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com are brought to you by Taylorville Memorial Hospital, Los Rancheros Mexican Restaurant, C&B Bank and Trust, and Apple Auto, all in Taylorville.
The purple and gold are coming your way. The Taylorville Tornadoes are going to do it today.
The holidays can leave you feeling stressed, and stress results in muscle tension. Relieve sore, achy muscles with a hot tub from Southern Ledge Pools and Patios in Taylorville. Stop in during their hot tub sale going on now through January 31st and get 20% off. There are 10 hot tubs available in the showroom. Come in today and let one of their experienced staff members answer your questions and help you select your own personal paradise. Southern Ledge Pools and Patios, 306 East Main Cross in Taylorville.
Lift up your eyes, I'm calling you. In the dark of night, I'll see you through. And even though you'll go through trials, I'll be right by your side. Don't forget I'm here with you.
At HSHS Good Shepherd Hospital, we'll be right by your side, day or night, because respect guides us, and care defines us, confidence empowers us, and joy inspires us. You see, this isn't just our job, it's our calling, and we answer it every day for every family. HSHS Good Shepherd Hospital. We're here with you.
Hi, this is Whitney McAllister, the manager from the Slot Yard in Taylorville, a J&J Gaming sponsored parlor. See our latest winners and find out our drink specials by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Blaine Cornwell with Prairie State Insurance. To learn more about our products and services, click our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
You're listening to and watching the WTIM Morning Show with our live video stream, co-sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. With us in studio, Rebecca Livingston, the Ag in the Classroom Coordinator for Christian and Montgomery County University of Illinois Extension. Let's do the deep dive now into specific programs. Do you teach the same program at all of the schools, or does it vary depending on what school district you're in?
No, so there's 82 of us coordinators in the state, and we all do it a little bit differently. My style is I go through K through 5, so kindergarten through 5th grade. I pick one lesson for kindergarten, 1st and 2nd, then another lesson for 3rd through 5th, and then I basically kind of go on the quarter. So first quarter, there's 2 lessons, and I switch second quarter, and then third quarter I switch lessons because yeah. And by the time everybody asks me, they're like, do you get bored? And I'm like, I don't get bored of the lessons. It just gets old. And I said, by the time the next one, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to start it. And we go for it. And yeah. But this cool part of my job, I mean, there's a lot of cool things, but one of them is I can have 5 classrooms in the same day, do the same exact lesson 5 times in 30 minutes. And each one of them will be a little bit different because the kid, you have to think, the kids are different. The classroom's different. You have talkers, some you have questions, some just want to know, others don't. And the others like, okay, cool, we did it, bye. So, I mean, that's the fun part of my job is it's the same lesson, but it's not the same lesson every time or the same approach every time.
Sure. All right. Yeah. Let's do the deep dive as to what it is right now in mid-January that you are taking to these classes.
So right now, I kind of talked about it earlier. My kindergarten through second grade are doing snow. So we're reading a book about what happens during a farm at wintertime. And then my 3rd through 5th graders are doing a livestock snow globe, which we bring in a jar and it has a farm animal in it. And then they put all of the stuff that goes into raising livestock. They put all of that in the jar, and then they get to take the jar home. And they get a little bookmark that says everything that we talked about and what it represents in the jar. And then in late February, we'll switch to our 3rd lesson, which is kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. We're talking about farm animals, which is very important. And they get to make their own barn at night. So there's a brand new book out, and it's called The Barn at Night. So we're going to read that, and then they get to make their own using popsicle sticks and stickers, make their own barn at night. And then my 3rd through 5th graders, last year I came up with I call it my Ag Uno game. So it's basically Uno, but instead of having numbers, I put agriculture facts on there, and the kids get to play that. So, and I tested it out last summer. It worked great. So I'm very excited to take that one into the classroom.
Rebecca Livingston, our guest, Ag in the Classroom Coordinator for Christian Montgomery County University of Illinois Extension. Everything you've just said involves the students, not only their minds, but their hands.
Yep. Hands-on. I'm 300% about hands-on. It's more fun for me, and it's more fun for the kids to get them up, get them moving, all sorts of stuff like that. I am not a PowerPoint person. I hate sitting and watching PowerPoints. And if that's you, great, go for it. But it's not me, and it's not my style. And I want the kids to have fun, and I want them to get something out of it. So I try to do my best to have everything hands-on.
At those grade levels, do they learn better with hands-on anyway?
Yes, I think I believe so. And if you ever are in a classroom, most of the time they do have hands-on stuff, whether it's writing something or something like that. That's mainly hands-on stuff that they are doing. So
and I suspect the proof is in the pudding, because when you see the light bulbs go off as a result of what you teach them by using their hands, then that is reinforcement to you that what you're doing is the right thing. Exactly.
You are exactly right, Randy, that those light bulb moments, like I said earlier, they're what I live for. And it's not, it's awesome for me, but I know it's even better for them because I know what I'm talking about is sticking. And that's just like, I'll bring up the chicks. If you know this program, you know I do chicks. I do incubators every year. And I don't know if you know this, Randy, but I hate chickens with a passion. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm a farm girl through and through. There's something about that bird that I just, nope. But I do 40 incubators twice. So I do 80 incubators. I think like 700 eggs. I don't remember. I just placed the order the other day. But that is by far the most favorite lesson that I ever do. And I go take the incubators, drop them off, bring the eggs, and then they get to watch them hatch. So, 21 days later, they're hatching. So it's cool for the kids, and they love it, and the teachers love it, because they literally get to watch an egg go from being an egg to an embryo, to the chick growing inside, to the chick hatching out. And that last year, because of COVID, I had them in my office, and I was like, nope. I was like, they're going back to the classrooms, because nope. But yeah. So that lesson, as much as I don't like chickens, I do get excited because it's fun. It's fun to see the kids' reactions with it once the chicks get here. So
that's awesome. We're out of time, I should say. Rebecca, thanks so much for being with us. That's Rebecca Livingston, who is the Christian Montgomery U of I Extension Ag in the Classroom Coordinator, visiting with us on this segment of the WTIM Morning Show, our live video streams, co-sponsored by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. We are coming up on 9:30, and news from